Hey, welcome to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at 10 manga and manhwa with overpowered MCs. Quick disclaimer, if I do butcher any names, please forgive me, I apologize. At number 10, we have The Other World doesn't stand a chance against the power of instant death. In this manga, Tagato Yoguri and his classmates are transported to another world by a woman named Shion. After being abandoned by the majority of his classmates, he displays the overpowered ability of, as you've guessed it, instant death, allowing him to kill anything with a single thought. However, with only 26 chapters out so far, I hope to see much more from this manga. For those who like novels, there's also a web novel out there with over 200 chapters, and a light novel with 10 volumes, so be sure to check that out when it's available in your region. Next at number 9, we have He looks like an ordinary swordsman, nevertheless, he's the strongest. The story follows Shirakuro Sansui, a Japanese student who died due to a mistake by God and was isekai'd to another world. With a referral letter addressed to a sage from God, Sansui spent 500 years training, reaching the stage of strongest by that world's standards. Near the ending of his training, Sansui stumbled upon a baby near his training ground, and there starts his journey in another world. At number 8, we have I Am the Sorcerer King. This manga follows Lee Sung-hoon, who in need of money for his mother's sickness takes a dangerous job to help fight monsters that appeared 10 years prior through a rift formed from time and space. One day while on the job, he is seriously injured by a monster and remembers his previous life as the Sorcerer King. This manga is extremely similar to some manga like Solo Leveling, however it has its own uniqueness to it. The MC, Lee Sung-hoon, is extremely smart and calculating with all of his plans, and with 128 chapters released so far, it's a decent read for those looking for something new. At number 7 is the strongest magical swordsman ever reborn as an F-rank adventurer. In this manga, we follow Aizawa Yori, who's been reincarnated not once, not twice, but thrice. In his first life, he was an ordinary office worker who accidentally fell into another world, and in that world he became the Magic Emperor. In his second life, he decided that since he had already reached the ultimate level of magic, he would try swordsmanship, becoming the God of Swords. So in his third life, after living for the sake of others, he decides to finally live for himself by becoming a magical swordsman and an F-rank adventurer. The main character is pretty overpowered. By doing something closely related to the skill, Aizawa Yori learns the skills of his previous lives. For example, not to do anything too spoilery, but Aizawa Yori picks up a stick and learns beginner, intermediate and advanced swordsmanship all in one go. Next at number 6, we have the hero who has no class. I don't need any skills, it's okay. In this manga, classes are given at the age of 10, and the presence or absence of skills greatly affects life. In this story, we follow Arrow. Even though he is the son of the Sword Princess and the Magic King, he has been branded classless. But even without class or job, Arrow believes he can persevere through effort. This manga is very different compared to the ones previously mentioned on the list. The main character Arrow hasn't been isekai'd and been given cheap powers by a god or trained for hundreds of years. He's just the son of two very powerful people and works extremely hard to become quite overpowered compared to his peers. Next up at number 5 is My 3000 Years to the Sky. In the world of cultivation, cultivators would first refine their ki, then build a foundation for cultivating, and after that, keep sharpening their skills to ascend to the immortal realm. Ki refining is just the very first step to heaven in that logic, right? Well, the main character, Bai Shoren, reached what should have been the peak of ki refining, level 10 at the age of 17, making him a genius. 3,000 years later, Baijiu Ran reached level 66,664 of key refining, yet there was still no signs of forming his foundation. This story follows his journey of trying to find ways to form his foundation. If you're looking for a martial arts manhwa with some comedic parts to it, then this is for you. Number 4 brings us to Descent of the Demonic Master. In his first life, after a tragic accident that made him lose his family and his legs, and a second life where he earned fame as the Red Demonic Master but was betrayed by the man he trusted most, Gang Jin-ho returns to the modern world in his third life and decides he wants to live normally. Dealing with the struggle of shaking off the impulses of the Red Demonic Master and trying to obtain a normal life, follow the story of a legendary martial artist living in the 21st century. Also, for novel readers out there is a web novel of this manhwa, though there isn't an official English translation for it yet, so be sure to keep a lookout for it. Our third spot goes to That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. I'm sure if you're keeping up with the latest anime, you would have seen it pop up a few times and you would know where I'm going with this. If you haven't, then you're in for a treat. This manga is one of my personal favorites. This manga is another isekai manga, where we follow Rimuru, formerly known as Satoru Mikami, a human who has reincarnated into a slime, and his story in another world with some very overpowered skills. For novel readers out there, the web novel is fully completed, and the light novel is at 17 volumes with 10 of them being officially English translated. The anime is also currently airing its second season, so if you're looking for an anime to watch or some reading to do, I highly recommend it. Number 2 goes to The Max Level Hero Has Returned. This manga follows Davy, a weak prince of an insignificant country who, after becoming comatose, has his soul travel to a temple. It's not an ordinary temple, however. No, in fact, the temple is home to the souls of heroes. After spending 1,000 years training with the souls of heroes at the temple, Davy finally returns to his body as a max level hero. I've personally only picked this one up within the last 4 months, but I have enjoyed every bit of it. If you're looking for a refreshing story, you should join Davy as his journey through royal life and revenge begins. Before I go into number 1 spot on the list, I would like to remind viewers that a like and subscribe is deeply appreciated. Plus it's free, only takes a minute of your time. So at the number 1 spot, and another personal favourite of mine, it is My Dad Is Too Strong. A scatterbrained, talentless civil servant by the name of Lee Do-jun returns as the Heavenly Demon. Wishing to live the rest of his life peacefully after his days of conflict and bloodshed in the Mirren world, he suddenly gains a daughter. This story has some familiarities with some others out there like Solo Leveling, and the previously mentioned I Am the Sorcerer King. This, however, does have its uniqueness in the way that he essentially becomes a single dad to a teenage daughter and tries to prioritize her. It's a quite sweet, light-hearted at times manhwa that I hope that you would enjoy.